Welcome everybody to the Opal Cave. My sister Myriah is here.
Hey!
She just got her first parcel. We're gonna look and see what she ended up with.
To echo Ricky's struggles, I don't know which bag is the good bag. I'm pretty sure it's not this one.
This is Goober Gray. And it's definitely small pieces. So you bought this from a guy that cuts with a Dremel.
Yeah.
And cuts a lot of small stuff and a lot of ring stones.
So in his mind,
these are cutters because you just dop them up and run a Dremel over them. I don't know. They're right on the bottom end of what you'd call cutters. I think most of them. Most of these probably, some of these would be chips type stuff, but they're right on the very. Yeah, they're probably. And that one's a nice ring stone right there. Got that sand you gotta have to deal with, but let's pick a few of these out. Myriah's gonna cut her first opals today, so we gotta pick her out a couple. And what jewelry do you have you want to set it on? Didn't you have some earrings or something?
no, I have pendants.
Pendants.
Yeah, I have a couple of different. I bought a few sizes because I didn't know.
Thankfully, we have a couple Mativi pieces here that might be pendant size.
Back up.
These are
They're
not pendant
tiny,
size.
though.
Okay, so, yeah, I would say this is probably smaller than we expected to show up. It isn't technically all chips, but it's not really cutters. It's got some good color in it. I think maybe, on my honest opinion, there's probably 2 or 3 that I would call a cutter in that whole group. The rest of it's inlay, thin. The color that's in it isn't enough color to turn into anything. And the color bars in it are funky enough that, you know, that's not going to cut anything. Well, you might cut a pointer on that one.
What about, so this is the biggest piece that he sent. It just doesn't have a lot of color in it.
Yeah, that's the piece of gray potch.
That's what it thought.
You got a little color right there.
You want to see the very best color that I felt in the whole bag? Wait, that's not it.
So wait, where was the other piece you just gave me? Is this the only one from that bag? Let's try to keep them separate
Yeah,
here.
that's the only one from that bag. I'll show you.
Let's
He
put
did
this one back.
send some practice pieces, just because.
So what did you pay for this parcel? Remind me.
Paid $200.
For everything here?
Yeah, and I haven't cut anything since Mr. Smith's jewelry class.
Mr. Smith taught it in your school? Was
Mr. Smith, yeah.
Was Mr. Dang, I can't remember.
No, Lee.
Yeah, Lee Smith.
Lee Smith, yeah. Lee Smith, yeah.
He was the shop teacher.
Yeah.
But I had
him.
Mr. Hostler.
No.
Was the teacher when I was.
I never had Hostler.
But we
This
never
is
did
the-
any cabbing. We only
That's
did.
the best color in the whole.
So this is a shell piece that he sent for practice. It's got beautiful purple, a lot of sand, beautiful piece right there. That one's got some beautiful stuff in it.
It's not enough to even have a base on it, really.
That's the difficulty with this shell stuff is it doesn't have the thickness and it's too curvy for doublets. And what people tell you to do is, well, just mount it the way it is, curved, leave the shell backing on one side and face the other side to color. You could probably remove this, see how much of it has color in it. Since you don't want to if you want to keep it as a specimen, it's actually a nice specimen of purple. But the very best and brightest colors I've ever seen are all on shells.
Of course.
But they're thin and difficult to work with. But yeah, so that's a cool piece.
So
we sent.
I think that one has a little bit. Has some of the bigger pieces in it.
So included with it was this stuff.
I think it's all practice stuff. What it is.
So that's just oh, there's a little color in that. Well, that's kind of fossils. In all honesty, this has got more color in it than the fossils I got last. There's a really nice shell.
It has some color on one of the sides. Maybe not.
So these are fossil pieces. There's another shell. Got some color in it, but there's a camel toe right there. Let's see, this one, that one's got you want to test yourself. There's a thin color bar. I think it wedges down and doesn't go anywhere.
There's not really anywhere for it to go. It gets
Yeah.
so thin in the back.
But it is there. That's actually an interesting piece. It's a challenging piece. That is not beginner's cutter stuff. Here's a cute little shell piece with some color. Oops. Trying to see if any of these things are what I would call really cutting material, and I wouldn't say they are.
I was hoping this bag where you had the shells in it was a practice bag, and that it wasn't part of it.
So here's my thing on practice. I think I've said it before, but after you've cut one piece of junk, if you're cutting something that doesn't have a color bar,
Yeah.
what are you practicing?
Yeah.
You know, so you don't need bags of practice material. You need a few. Typically, what I recommend is buy a parcel that's not terribly expensive, that has some value. Pick the crappiest one in it and start from there and work toward the best one. That one's doublet thin, but it has nice color on it. All right, what's the next bag? I think we got a bigger bag there, don't we?
Yeah, I think this is, let's do that one last because I think it is the better.
Okay, don't worry. We're getting to some really good stuff.
Getting into it. This is my favorite bag, but there's one in here that I think is big enough that maybe you'd call it a cutter. That's my favorite color. Bag.
So you like the purple blue?
I do, yep. I love it all, really.
This looks like Lightning Ridge stuff. It's all got really cool color in it, and it's all got so much sand that the color is not going to do you any good.
Yeah, there's not enough there. There's one, I think you just had it. There was one piece that looked big enough, but it has got sand all. The back end of it is just potch and sand.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a bag of sand and color.
Yep. That one will look really good in a little jar around your neck.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I think this is the best. The last bag is the best bag.
Did I just come out of this one?
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
give it out there. Let's get something good.
I don't think the bar is exceptionally high, as you've noticed.
This is disappointing, to be honest, because we were personally in contact with this seller, explained to him very carefully that you were new cutters. They were looking for good cutting material for new cutters, and he said, "Oh, I got some stuff for you," and this is what we got.
Yeah, and I would rather them come back and say, "Hey, we can't do it for 200, but I can get you some nice pieces for 300 or 400."
Yeah.
So, I don't mind paying a little more to get some stuff that you can work with, but those are the gems of the lot.
The gems. So that one is a nice gray with a thin color bar, legitimately big enough to be called a cutter. A very tricky, not a beginner piece at all, because that color bar dips and waves. But that one's got a beautiful ringstone in it, that piece right there, if you can successfully cut it. That one's got something hiding on that end. Let's see. Yeah. I'm sorry. This stuff is definitely way smaller than I thought too in the videos and that stuff.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell.
It's got pretty color.
TV's videos is that she puts them on a ruler, like almost all of her videos.
Yeah.
To actually get an idea of.
Yeah, you really have to have a ruler with either millimeters, preferably millimeters, just so you get used to it. But I mean, that one right there has got some potential. If you can get through the sand and still have color left in it. But that one, I would say that there's some cutters in here if you were very advanced, but the vast majority of this is just, it's chips.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily because of the size, but because of you're not going to cut anything out of that.
But with the saddle in it.
Yeah, it's got that big cavity in it.
And I think
And
that's the best.
look at
That's
that
what
color
I thought
bar.
was the best piece in the whole lot.
So here's the decision you have. You could probably take any one of these parcels, like if you wanted to keep one of these, as long as you don't cut any of them, he'll take them back and either replace them with something better or give you your money back. It's always frustrating to have to wait to send it back and get something replacement or look for something new. But I'll be honest, I don't think you guys got $200 worth of value here. I mean, probably if you were into specimens and you were looking for specimens and wanted to spend, you know, $50 for a couple of those pieces, there would be something there. But So the struggle is real.
It is real.
Trying to find stuff. This is stuff that we literally worked with the seller, told him specifically what we wanted, and he was very nice, very patient, sent us various things. But from the video that we saw, this stuff looked to be bigger and looked to be more cutter size than what it ended up being showing up. And so now we have the decision of Myriah drove 3 hours here to be able to cut some opal today, and if it was mine, I would probably send it back and say, hey, this isn't going to work for what I need, sorry. Tell me what you guys think. What we're going to do, thankfully, my TV Opal always comes in clutch. Everything she sends me looks like it at least ought to do something. It doesn't mean they all do, but they ought to do something. So we got 2 pieces here left. My 2 parcels that were supposed to be delivered yesterday, the post office said I wasn't home, even though I was sitting there looking out the window waiting for the post office. So I got to pick them up tomorrow, and I should have plenty to cut. But we got this one that should be a straightforward cutter, skin to skin, typical Cooper Pedy piece that Myriah's going to cut. And she's going to watch me cut this one right here that's a little bit less straightforward, but with a nice color bar. It's got sand to deal with. It's got an angled color bar to deal with. And it still should cut a nice stone. Except for I'm not sure if it fits.
Have to cut that one.
Because of that dip right there, we're gonna. Let me look at it here. I really think that there's enough that if we can keep this as the bottom, we'll know here pretty quickly, because I'm going to take that bottom off, that cup. I'm going to take this bottom off, and if there's enough left, it's thin because of the angled color bar. It's thin enough that if we got lucky enough to cut a stone that big, I think it'd be too thin with what we have left. But if we end up cutting it, then we'll be fine. And where's your pendant? What size of a pendant do we need to cut?
Have to use those. I can order.
So we got a teardrop, an oval, and a round. They look like 7 or 8 millimeter. I'll bet we can cut something. I think both of these will end up being bigger than that, but I got lots of stones that are close to this that we can probably.
Me too.
Yours aren't this big. All right, so let's start. Slide in here and watch. So obviously the first thing that we want to do is find out exactly where our color bar is all the way around. This one's pretty much obvious. We don't need to do a whole lot of exploring. But the first thing you would typically do is go around this piece right here. We can't save that little thing jutting off there. We can't save these little flyers that go off the edge. They got to go away because there's nothing to. Unless we were going to do a free form, that isn't going to fit inside of a calibrated cut. So I start by taking off what I know has to come off. That lets me make a better decision on what I keep. So I'm getting its feet underneath it. And if this is our bottom, then that can stay. A little bit of that can go away. Man, that's angled down there. So what we had talked about, Myriah and I, is because of this angled color bar, it goes from this top left corner down to the bottom right corner. If we cut it in half, we would face this one. The top would be here, the bottom would be here. And on this one, the top would be here and the bottom would be here. And that might be the smart thing to do to for sure end up with 2. That sand right there being the wild card, how far it goes in, but it looked like to me like it was already starting to get. They're already starting to go away. And if we did it from this one from this side, because that's on the, well, it's right in the dead center of the color bar. So this one is, I would say, 15 to 18 millimeters long by at least 13 to 15 wide, maybe even a little bit bigger than that. It might be 20 millimeters long by 13 to 15 wide. And that would be a beautiful big stone. If we try to go for that by going down to the color bar and don't get it, we lose the option of getting 2 small nice stones. And it depends on if you're in the go big or go home mood, or let's get the most we can out of the material we got here mood. Then that kind of dictates what you would do.
When I'm watching your videos, I'm always
I tend to be that too. Here's the thing, it depends on my mood. I cut opal to decompress and not think about other things. If I need a win, I'll go for the win. If I just want, you know, so it depends on my mood. If I just, hey, I need something to go good today, then I'll wimp out and take the easy route. If I've had a good day, then I'll be like, if this doesn't work out, we'll just throw it in the scrap pile. So we got good base there. We got just a little bit missing there. And there's just about enough from the top of the color bar here down to the bottom. There's actually enough there. I think we just go big. I think we try.
I agree. If you look back at it, there's about the width of the box right there.
So what I'm saying is, I don't care if we lose today. Now look how low it is here on this side, though. That's our worst corner there as far as it dips down, and ironically the best color. You see the color in that corner?
These have a nice thick color.
Yeah. Man, that one piece there. Look at how I think we're gonna have to, because look at how it dips down and it climbs back up quickly, and it climbs higher than the color bar is thick.
Well, really, even if you got down to it, you'd have to come through that color bar there to even it out, right? So you have a lopsided stuff.
We got color up here. What do you think? We can get two. If it'll cut 2 13s, which is my favorite size for most jewelry, it's not going to, or 2 10s, I guess. 10 there, 10 there, it would be close. And one of those would fit right in. Actually, it'd still be too big for those. You weren't very optimistic when you ordered those.
I saw the parcel and I
Yeah, yep. All right, so we cut it. Look at our angle bar slant. Top left to bottom right. Both sides. Good night. So this one we want to face off of neither side. Both sides kind of suck. We got this big dip right here on this one, and this dip right here on this one. Let's start on the one that we're pretty confident about. No, we're not. See how bad that angles? But the color bar does arch this way and not this way, so that I think that makes us want to, because we want our dome, that maximizes our color bar in our dome. So I'm just gonna start roughing this out. And I'm just gonna use that pencil mark, well, because we're so close right there, I kind of can't go anything bigger than the line itself. Alright, so we're ready to dop that one up. Now what side are we going to face this one on? See how bright that orange is from this side? That needs me to want to do it from this side, and I don't think it really makes a difference. They're both equally bad, and this side will get rid of that sand. So we're gonna cut this at an angle, and I'm doing that by just putting pressure where I want it to cut and no pressure where I don't want it to cut. See how quickly we sloped our top to match our slope of our color bar. might be a good looking little stone. We need that sand to go away. You know, we have that your little teardrop piece right there. Pull that teardrop out. Water on there, it doesn't want to. Okay, so the pendant setting that she's got, it looks like an 8 in a teardrop. And I think we can do that with this one right here. We kind of already have a teardrop wanting to happen, almost 2 of them. Trying to decide if we can get 2 out of it. If we just go for the 1, and I think this is the side to go with because of the color bar is closer to the top. If we give up this piece right here, we're giving up the piece that's got the least amount of potch. Wait, and there's our sand. We want to get rid of that anyway. So I think that helps us make our decision. It always hurts to grind away beautiful color, but yeah, that is more painful. This is going to be way bigger than that. We're going to have to.
So they come bigger. I just didn't really know what I was doing.
Okay, so this is our top for sure. Let's look at the color. What would Justin say, Myriah? Have you watched enough of his videos? Going in. Ooh, look at that flash. Okay, so we're right kissing the color bar with the potch. We've just got a skin left on it. And I like to leave it there till I'm dopped up and I'm sure of what everything's going to be. Be a little bit thin because of what I think that's going to be a stunner. It's going to be bright. It's going to be big flagstone. Whoo, I'm excited. That's a good one. You feel the energy you get when they work out? You feel the energy an Opal gives out when it wins, and the kick in the guts when it doesn't? Yeah, that. Wait till you spend like $1,000 and open it and go, oh crap. And this came by Sloth from Siberia. Okay, so we're going to dot that up because we need to get that one exactly this shape right here. Gosh, it's almost, where's the other ones at? Is there anything bigger we can do with this? Now they've missed out on all that repartee and all the singing.
They missed the Dumb and Dumber?
Yep.
You can't just recreate that like that.
Nope, you can't stage it. It just has to flow naturally. We're just about to get it here. Okay, I'm good with that for now. Now we got to get our teardrop. Our teardrop's about double the size it needs to be. Let's just get a perfect teardrop. Let's just go for a good teardrop and we'll see. So did you hear that Dad called me? And he says, I want you to sing Danny Boy at my funeral. And I said, I'm busy that day, Dad. I said, is there something you're trying to tell me? And he said, no, I just want you to know that I want that song sung at my funeral. I want you to sing it. And I said, yeah, I can't. I'm busy that day.
think it's good to look at the picture.
Yeah.
Their house or something out nice though.
Yeah, that was cool. We just popped off the dop. We'll have to redop it. You know, a dream is like a river, ever changing as it flows, and the dreamer is just a vessel that must follow where it goes, trying to learn from what's behind you and never knowing what's in store. Makes each day a constant battle just to stay between the shore. I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry, like a bird upon the wind. These waters are my sky. I'll never reach my destination if I never try. So I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. And there's bound to be rough waters, and I know I'll take some falls, but with the good Lord as my captain, I can make it through them all. And I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry. So I'm going to cut this at a 45-degree angle right here to start. It totally depends on how thick your color bar is. I can go a 45 because we got a relatively thick color bar. I want the bottom of my bevel not to be in the bottom of the color bar, but close. That maximizes the amount of dome I can have on the top. But you can still, I got some skin on top of the color bar, and I'm trying to balance between getting through it and getting everything level. You can see that the highest point has to be the center, and right now it's not. And that's totally determines on how much dome you can put in it by how big the hole is in the center. The dome is kind of pleasing. You don't need a whole lot. I found that mostly stones that face better from the side than the top benefit from more dome as far as looking much better, because you can pull some of that side facing out by doming it. Okay, now we got to get through that skin. With the good Lord as my captain. How about 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. City's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's heading back from somewheres that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls, the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night, as the storm rolls on out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. Get our light over here. Still got a skin on the top, but you can see on the sides we're down. She's waiting by the window when he pulls into the drive. She rushes out to hold him, thankful he's alive. But on the wind and rain, a strange new perfume blows, and the lightning flashes in her eyes, and he knows that she knows. And the thunder rolls. Sorry, I was banging my head. And the thunder rolls. The thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold, darling, on a sleepless night, as the storm rolls on out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. Come on, we gotta get that skin to go away.
I feel like on the paper though, it just never fully goes.
Yeah, when you're dealing with not crystal white base, your matrix that it's in is a white, and it's not clear. And so if there's anything in between the color, it's going to be that it's cloudy, milky, beautiful white. But as much as we want a crystal clear look into our color, you don't get it very often on Cooper PD. But you can see that we can get it better than what we have now, provided that it just won't be as high domed as I was hoping. Because I bet this right here, no, maybe not. It's like there's a hole in the middle. But that's all we're going to do. I'm going to make sure my shape is as perfect as I can get it. And then we'll go to the finishing. I like that. Now for our teardrop. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots, ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise, the fear in his eyes, as I took his glass of champagne. And I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through. You'll never hear me complain, 'cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey brand Chablis. That wasn't the right song anyway. Come on, you pick one. We want this one to face better. Oh, look at that, broad flash. This one, we're facing from the opposite side. It's funny how different they are, one from the top, one from the bottom. One day a mother went to a prison to see her erring but wayward son. She told the warden it didn't she loved him. It did not matter what he had done. She did not bring parole or pardon. She brought no silver, no pomp, no style. It was a halo sent down from heaven, the sweetest gift, a mother's smile. We need Cheryl and Trina and Crystalline. And I've never sang that one, but I hear you guys sing it all the time. It's my favorite when you sing.
One we could run to it last minute.
Yeah. Hey, can you sing at a funeral tomorrow? Yeah. Can we bring potato salad and sing this? It's like my giving at Christmas time. Luckily, nobody else seems to do it, but Joseph's song. How does it start? Hang on, I've drawn a blank. All I need is one word and I would have it.
I can't remember either.
You're gonna have to Google it or something. Look at this color coming up. If I can't put on a show, the Opal will. That one. Yeah. Ireland.
There's a few girls songs that never does this concert.
Yeah, that's one of. Well, there's a ship out in harbor. Yeah, that one. God, you know that ship is me. There's a lighthouse. Yeah, we should pick songs we know the words to. No, I'm mad I can't think of the beginning to Joseph's song. Look at this one's gonna be a beauty. My TV Opal, my TV Opal. How could it be this baby in my arms, sleeping now so peacefully? The Son of God, the angel said, how could it be? Lord, I know he's not my own, not of my flesh, not of my bone. Still, Father, let, I started too high to keep, this baby be son of my love. Father, show me how I fit into this plan of yours. How can a man be father to the Son of God? Lord, for all my life I've been a simple carpenter. How can I raise a king? How can I raise a king? He looks so small, his face and hands so fair, and when he cries, the sun just seems to disappear. But when he laughs, it shines again. How could it be? Father, show me where I fit into this plan of yours. How can a man be father to the Son of God? And Lord, for all my life I've been a simple carpenter. I feel this is on Mass Jeff Death's workout playlist. How can I raise a king?
It will.
It will be now. How can I raise a king? How could it be? This baby in my arms, sleeping now so peacefully. I'm glad we didn't cut this down to fit that little one. This is one of my favorites I've cut in a while. It's just got the color, the red, the blue, the roll. Yeah. So we're gonna get a little bit clearer, but let's move it to the finishing wheel. Usually just start by cleaning up. I want to get all the scratches out of my side here. Yeah. And so this one, I typically use this side more, and it stays, it's finer here going this direction. This is 1200 grit. This is probably more like 2500 grit. It doesn't, you can cut on this wheel, like if you really want to lean into it and get this cloud off here, over here on the 1200 grit side, by putting a little bit more pressure on it, it will take material off. But if you're careful on this side, all it will do is just take enough. You got to get any scratches that are there from the medium grit or the fine grit wheel will show up immediately when we start polishing. I don't do very many teardrops, so this is a little bit awkward. You can't roll through it. You have to just kind of roll up to it and then pass by it. Let's see. I feel like there's a tornado going on outside. Go out and see. Yeah, don't worry. I feel like we can get a little bit cleaner right there in the middle. See that roll of red going across it right there, but it's kind of subdued. I really want it, oh, like that. I want it to explode like that. and the lightning strikes. Something wicked this way comes. As the storm rolls on out of control, deep in her heart, this thunder. Hey, you guys want to see my horses?
Yeah.
See if they blew away. This is how you make trail horses that aren't scared of the wind. Yeah. You can tell there's a storm. She never comes in here. Honey will occasionally, but Chunky doesn't. Woo! Okay. I like that. Okay. Now we got this one that we got to get to pop like that one does. Moonlight on canvas, midnight and wine, two shadows starting to softly combine. The picture they're painting is one of the heart. To those who have seen it, it's a true work of art. Whoa, the red strokes, passions uncaged, thundering moments of tenderness, rage. Whoa, the red strokes, fearlessly drawn, burning the night like the dawn. Steam on a window, salt in a kiss. Two hearts have never pounded like this. Inspired by the vision of what they can command, erasing the borders with each brush of a hand. Whoa, the red strokes, passions uncaged, thundering moments of tenderness, rage. Whoa, the red strokes, fearlessly drawn. I feel like the color's just starting to show up in the middle. We're gonna lose most of our dome, but I think it will be the right thing to do. Fearlessly drawn, burning the night like the dawn. Steam on a window. Really? Yeah. Oh, we had the lever action 30-30. Well, and the first 2 years we did have a gun, she wouldn't let me shoot it. I would stick the gun out the window, and she wouldn't let me shoot, and then we would drive on to the next one. Yeah. I still don't know why she did that, but it's awesome. Color's in there in the middle, it's just struggling to come out. Where's your little oval one? This one right here? Yeah, it's right here. Even this is too big for it. Well, I did the opposite. I ordered a bunch of ones that are like 2 inches across, going, oh, I'm gonna cut me some opal now. Yeah. Get a back hernia.
Yes, you have to attach your bracelet to your necklace so you can't be around.
I'm wondering how much we'd have to come down to. Not a ton. Passions uncaged. I think we could make that one work. It's not by much.
think it goes down deep enough to them. You can see.
Color bar?
Yeah. See it. I mean, I guess it does.
I think you got skin to skin color on this one.
Just the penny.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got color below that crack. You got this coming up here and that coming up there. You might choose to lose some of that side just a little bit.
That has to come off no matter what, right? That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
How many?
You will end up with fingers that look like this.
Okay. Put my fingernails down.
I thought Christine was going to come with like $300 gel nails on.
She
They're
might.
ready to cut.
She might. I'll tell her she can totally do it.
You're trying to take it off straight across the stone. There you go.
Good heavens.
Now you got more thumbs than I do, but you're probably using more thumbs than you need. And don't take off too much because we're not trying to lose any thickness. We're just picking that off. You're starting to face it up there. There you go. So the trick is to keep your finger under the stone, but not on the wheel. If you find that you're bleeding, then you got too close.
Maybe it'll bring the color out still.
Yeah.
This one's got lots of reds in it.
Yeah, this one's chock full of reds. I'm feeling woozy.
So I feel like I need to put pressure on this side over here to get that to come off.
Okay.
Straight.
And how you tell if they have a lot of cracks in them is to drop them 20 or 30 times like I do. Because you really want to reveal those cracks as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Yeah.
You're trying to get right angles on all your corners. Now, if the side, so you have the top up, so you actually want it to be slightly beveled. You don't want it straight up and down on the edge. You want it, because if you set it with a prong, you want that prong to have something to face onto.
So I have it beveled the wrong way now.
Nope, you haven't beveled it the correct way. Yep, that one's angled slightly in towards you, which is what you want.
So do I need to go further on that?
Nope.
This side, you
So I
take
think
this
that
side
side needs to be
down?
cleaned up, yep. Can't go too slow, you can definitely go too fast. Once you take it off, it's really hard to glue it back on. I think that stone's going to face a lot better than I thought initially.
Lopsided, right? This side's more shallow.
Yeah.
So how do you
walks-
prevent it? Because like now I think you're getting this bow at the bottom. You see that where it's a little wider at the bottom? So just I just need to true it up.
Yep. It'll just be a little here, a little there till you get it all, walk it all in. Well, he walks out in the arena, all dressed up to the brim. Said he just came down from a place called Highland Rim. Said he came to ride a horse. This doesn't bother you at all having a camera in your ear, does it?
Nope.
The one they call the Brute. But he didn't look like a cowboy in his continental suit.
See, I feel like I'm putting the pressure on this side, but I feel like I'm losing this side. Am I crazy?
No, I think I agree. You're losing it from that bottom side more than the top side. You may not be putting pressure where you think you are. There you go. The horse that he was looking for was in shooting number 8. Walked up very slowly, put his hand upon the gate. We thought he must be crazy when he opened up the gate. Standing just inside his 1,500 pounds of hate.
That side looks pretty true to me. Just bevel it.
Yep. This might shock you, but your first one doesn't have to be perfect.
Fine. Everything's fine.
It's not fine! We thought he must be crazy when he opened
Still
up
have
the
that
gate.
bubble over here. But I feel like the bubble's at the base. Or am I crazy?
Yes, but it's, yeah, the water's squirting in your. I don't know why it only does that to you.
You're tall enough to reach the part that doesn't.
Is that what it is? You're closer to the wheel? First person shooter. Not really pin fire. Let's look at it here. It's got some pin fire in it, but it's also got it's a smaller flagstone. Floral, I would call that floral. Bushy there. Fireworks. That's not pin fire is, let me get. I would say, honestly, for what that stone, if I had cut that stone versus what it is when you cut that stone, I don't think there's 5% difference over what you got out of it over if I'd cut it. I don't see any downside to you starting with a stone like that.
Well, you're right, though. If you start with something that doesn't have any color lines in it,
Yeah, what are you practicing? Yeah. What do you? The whole purpose is to get that color bar to be at the top, facing the best way possible in a uniform and even way. And if there's not a color bar, you're starting with something that has nothing.
I thought that Ethiopian would be fun, even if it's garbage, to figure out how to cut the color bars.
Yeah. And well, the Ethiopian is typically wall-to-wall color.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually have color bars. So basically, you're just working on your shape, and in that case, that is good practice. And I guess it could be, so you could take a rectangle piece and just make a cabochon out of it and not worry about color. That might be good practice. Like I said, how many of those do you need to do? If you pull one off successfully, do you need to do 10 more of those? Do you need a parcel of 100 of those?
Please tell me a parcel of 100. I won't lose my fingers on.
Yeah, so now we'll just kind of walk it down the side like this to make sure we don't have any scratch marks on there. And I just gently, barely even letting it touch the corners. I just want them to
Just buff them out.
There we go. We've got teardrop. It weighs. I forgot what it weighs. Remember what it weighed?
No. I think I guessed. I can't remember.
I think it was 1.3. We'll weigh it again. There's our teardrop.
Yeah, you're right.
It weighs 1.33 carats. 1.33 carats. We'll have to order a different setting for it because we didn't want to cut it down to fit the one we had. That one's got all the stuff going. This one we set in a little pendant that actually doesn't have a bail on it somehow. It has this little ball. So you can, I guess, not hang it on a necklace, but it's set. We'll have to figure out some way of mounting that. Again, all the colors, big flashes. And then Myriah's first opal cut. Piece of Cooper Petey. It ended up weighing 3.045, 3 carats. What do you think? For those of you that have cut, did your first opal turn out that good?
Just for the record, I still have all of my fingers. Most of my fingernails.
Now we're going to the ER.
We'll be back in a moment.
That's just a stunning piece of Cooper Petey.
Yeah, it's a nice piece.
Really, it came out even nicer than I thought I did. If it was that nice, if I had known it was that nice, I wouldn't have saved it for you. I would have cut it.
You wouldn't have let me cut it.
I would have said, I'm out. Sorry about your parcel that didn't work
I got these out of the driveway. We're gonna test these.
Yeah, that's a. We need to order. We need to measure that.
Yeah.
.8, so that's an 8 by, I'm going to say an 8 by 13 might be the ticket. 12.29, yep. So an 8 by 13 setting is what you're going to need. This one's going to be about 11 by 6 probably. 7. That'll be tougher to find. Anyway, thanks for coming along.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun to see the process.
Now it's time to go get something to eat. You just gotta love Cooper Petey. It's good value for what you pay when you get good stuff. There's a few of them that really surprise you with broad black flash colors like this. You can consistently get stuff like this for under $10 a carat, sometimes $2 or $3 a carat. You know, 3 to 4 is pretty common to find stuff about that stuff, right, that quality right there. And I just don't think you'll find value on anything else. And come on,
Yeah.
what's not to like about that? Won't cut too many teardrops. What do you think of that?